Today's first qualifier has Egotist and Tiger Town. They're off and away from the gate quickly. Tiger Town grabs the early lead as they race into the first turn, with the 3-year-old Egotist getting away second. Head now by the opening eighth on their way into the backstretch for the first time. Headed onto the opening panel. That's Tiger Town opening up by 3. Egotist in pursuit second. Moving through the backstretch, time 1. They now arrive at that opening quarter. And Tiger Town has them there, leads it by 2.5. Closing in now is Egotist second. They continue on now to the 3/8. Still led by Tiger Town. The lead now just 2. Second is Egotist. Opening quarter reached in 31 2/5 seconds. Move off the turn and race in front of the grandstand now. Time 1 as they approach the half. Tiger Town expanding the lead now to 4 or 5 lengths as they arrive at the halfway marker. Back in at 2 is Egotist. They continue into the lower turn on their way now to the 5/8. No change in positions. Tiger Town still showing the way with Egotist racing second. Tiger Town had them past the halfway marker in 1:01 and 3/5 seconds. Into the backstretch on their way to the 3/4 mile mark. Still led by Tiger Town. 3 lengths back second is Egotist. Checking in at 3/4. Tiger Town continues to chart the path, with Egotist trying to close the gap second. They race now to the 7/8. Tiger Town now just a length and a half. A closer second is Egotist. They have an eighth left to come. 3/4, 1:31. They move off the top turn, entering the stretch now for the final time. Led home by Tiger Town. Egotist on the outside, trying to close in, but Tiger Town will take the qualifier. Egotist second. Time for the mile was 2 minutes and 2/5. Second qualifier, top of the stretch, as the 2-year-old trotter ticked. First race of the afternoon has Cocan County, A Day at the Beach. Little Black Beauty, Cocan Countess, All Country, Salzburg Flicka, Molly Vance, and Tempest in a Teacup. They are off and pacing. A Day at the Beach away quickly, looking to grab the early lead. Little Black Beauty on the outside is away second. Up on the far outside, that's Tempest in a Teacup. Caught 3 wide in the first turn as they battle for the early lead, heading by the opening eighth. And taking over, Tempest in a Teacup as they race into the backstretch for time 1. Rough gated on the outside and going off stride there. That was Little Black Beauty. Moving up into the pocket is A Day at the Beach. Little Black Beauty back down pacing. Will find a spot at the rail in 3. Cocan County gets away in 4. Parked on the outside. Salzburg Flicka racing in 5. Then inside 6th is Cocan Countess. Further on back in 7. That's Molly Vance. And at the back of the field is All Country. They continue into the turn, approaching the 3/8. Up front, that's Tempest in a Teacup, dictating the early terms, leading it by 2.5. A Day at the Beach, giving chase second. Little Black Beauty sits out the rail third. Opening panel was 31 1/5 second. They travel through the stretch, approaching the halfway marker. Tempest in a Teacup, unchallenged on the front end, is there by 2. A Day at the Beach second. Caught outside and going the long trip. Salzburg Flicka moves up to third. Little Black Beauty at the rail is fourth. Outside second over in 5. That's Molly Vance. Then back in 6, Cocan County. Moving outside in 7, Cocan Countess, and at the back of the field as they head through the backstretch for the final time. That's All Country. 102 1 was the half. They're on the way to 3/4. Tempest in the Teacup, still the boss outside. Salzburg Flicka is now second. At the rail, A Day at the Beach third. Molly Vance in the 3 wide path into contention, now fourth. Outside, caught in the traffic in 5. That's Little Black Beauty. They race now to the 7/8. And A Day at the Beach on the inside is looking for room, still with the lead on the front end as they race on past the 7/8 and off the top turn is Tempest in a Teacup. Salzburg Flicka, Molly Vance out there 3 deep. They turn for home, 132 4. Was the 3/4. They straighten out through the lane. Tempest in a Teacup, Molly Vance down the center of the track. A Day at the Beach in the passing lane. Through the stretch they come. A Day at the Beach on the inside to win it. Second, it's close. Molly Vance against Tempest in a Teacup. Race number 2, top of the stretch, has Brookdale Bruiser, A Rough Coast, Elm Grove Luck, Beach and Lindy, and Woodmere Violator. They're off, and as they lead the gate, Brookdale Bruiser at the rail is a way to grab the early lead. Beach and Lindy up on the outside, gets away second. A Rough Coast follows out third. And back racing in 4 is Elm Grove Luck and the early trailer, Woodmere Violator. They enter the backstretch now, first time as they head out of the opening quarter. Brookdale Bruiser shows the way out there by 2. Beach and Lindy in pursuit from the pocket second. Inside, A Rough Coast holds down the 3 spot. Next in line from 4, that's Elm Grove Luck, and at the back, Woodmere Violator. No change, single file as they arrive at the opening quarter, and they're led by Brookdale Bruiser. The lead is 2 lengths, second on the inside as they race on to the 3/8. That is Beach and Lindy, a tight up third for A Rough Coast. Then back to Elm Grove Luck and Woodmere Violator. Quarter paced in 29 2/5 seconds. They move off the turn, still no change as they approach the halfway point. It's Brookdale Bruiser going unchallenged on the front end, still out there by 2. Beach and Lindy getting a good trip in the pocket second. Then racing at the rail, A Rough Coast is third. Back in 4, Elm Grove Luck. Now the first to sacrifice, tipping to the outside, Woodmere Violator from the back of the field. They dip into the lower turn after a half of 101 flat. They continue past the 5/8 and into the backstretch, still led by Brookdale Bruiser. Quickly now coming to call on the outside, Woodmere Violator. Up to challenge on the outside, second. Beach and Lindy stays in the pocket third. Then back in 4 is A Rough Coast, and now trailing Elm Grove Luck. They pace past the 3/4 mile mark. And it's Brookdale Bruiser leading it by half a length on the outside. Braving it first over. Woodmere Violator second. Inside racing a third and looking for room. That is Beach and Lindy. A Rough Coast second over fourth. And Elm Grove Luck 3/4 in 132. They race past the 7/8 and off the top turn. It's Brookdale Bruiser leading them on home on the inside. And reclaiming second is Beach and Lindy. They straighten out for the stretch drive. Brookdale Bruiser, Beach and Lindy trying to close in after the pocket drive. Brookdale Bruiser, Beach and Lindy. Brookdale Bruiser will prevail. Beach and Lindy second and third is Woodmere Violator. Race number 3 of the afternoon has Schooner or Later, DJ's Coca-Cola Cowboy, Fluid Motion, I-47, Brookdale Jim, Sakatuum, Western Scott, and Flag of Honor. They're off and pacing. Along the inside, Schooner or Later shooting out for the early lead. From the far outside, that's Western Scott as they race into the first turn. Western Scott on the outside is away second. DJ's Coca-Cola Cowboy out the rail settles out in third, followed by Fluid Motion fourth. Back in five, that is I-47. Then racing along in six as they move into the backstretch. And race on to the opening quarter, that's Flag of Honor. Brookdale Jim back there in seven, and treading the field is Sockatuum. They arrive at the quarter led by Schooner or Later. The lead a length and a half. Sitting in the garden spot, that's Western Scott with DJ's Coca-Cola Cowboy following along at the rail in three. Fluid Motion holding down the four spot. Campaigning the rail in five, that's I-47. Then back there in six, Flag of Honor. Gap of some 4 or 5 lengths. Back to Brookdale Jim, who's pacing along in seven, and at the back of the field is Sockatuum. Quarter was 28-1 as they arrive at the halfway marker. Schooner or Later continues on the front end by a length and a half with Western Scott getting a pocket ride. DJ's Coca-Cola Cowboy will stay at the rail third. First over Challenger. Here comes Fluid Motion up on the limb from four. Fifth and looking to the outside, that is I-47. Then back to Flag of Honor, followed by Sockatuum and Brookdale Jim the half as they race into the backstretch and onto the three quarters yet to be posted as they race on down the backside. Final time, it's Schooner or Later opening up by 3. Western Scott gapping out second. That half was in a snappy 57-2 as they race on to the 7/8. It's Schooner or Later by 4. Western Scott clinging to second. Outside Fluid Motion racing third. Inside a trap fourth is DJ's Coca-Cola Cowboy. 127 2/3 off the top turn. They straighten out for the stretch drive. Schooner or Later out there by 5, 6 expanding lengths as they drive down the stretch. The battle here strictly for place with Schooner or Later opening up to take the third in the passing lane. And now finding room, DJ's Coca-Cola Cowboy closes up for second. Third is Fluid Motion. Eight mares behind the gate for the fourth race. Udine by Emma, A Regal Beauty, C.L. LaRousse, Glenview Natalie, P.H. Powerful, Just Lovey, Jenny So Great, and Pictonian's Derby. They're off and pacing. Udine by Emma at the rail away looking for the lead. P.H. Powerful outside is now crossing over to grab the top spot as they race into the first turn. C.L. LaRousse on the limb is second. Caught wide, that's Just Lovey racing third. Fourth at the rail is Udine by Emma. A Regal Beauty has come away in 5. Back there in 6, Jenny So Great, followed 7th by Glenview Natalie, and at the back is Pictonian's Derby. They race into the backstretch on past the opening quarter, and that's Just Lovey striding out to grab the early lead. Giving way, P.H. Powerful sits in the pocket second, tied up C.L. LaRousse racing along in 3. That's Udine by Emma. Back there settled in 4th. 5th on the inside is A Regal Beauty. Then Jenny So Great to the outside goes Glenview Natalie from 7, and Pictonian's Derby can see them all as they round the top turn. 28-2 was the opening quarter. They travel through the stretch now as they approach the half, and Just Lovey dictating the early pace, leads it by a length and a quarter. At the rail, P.H. Powerful second. First over Advancer, Udine by Emma third. Inside locked up now is C.L. LaRousse fourth. Getting a second over toe is Glenview Natalie from 5. Shuffle back and locked in 6th. As they race on to the 5/8, A Regal Beauty, then Pictonian's Derby, and at the back now is Jenny So Great as they continue into the backstretch. The half, 58 4/5 seconds. On their way to 3/4, Just Lovey holding a length lead. On the inside, P.H. Powerful, 3 wide. Here comes Glenview Natalie, now charging up into contention as they check in at 3/4. Glenview Natalie is driving on to take over the lead. On the outside and now up into contention, 3 wide is Pictonian's Derby. Just Lovey is a tiring third. Up into contention now, wide 4th, Jenny So Great. They race past the 7/8 and off the top turn. 129 3/3. They're led off the top turn by Glenview Natalie. Back second, Pictonian's Derby, then Jenny So Great. On down the stretch they come. Glenview Natalie will take it. Closing up is Jenny So Great to finish second, and third is Pictonian's Derby. Race 5, top of the stretch, has Pictonian Power, Keeson's Reign, Prince Adam, and Expense, Arizona Bucks, PJ, Camdex, and Rusty Riley. They're off and pacing. Pictonian Power at the rail, a way to grab the early lead on the outside, and Expense driving up second. Taking a tuck in 3, that's Keeson's Reign. Caught wide is PJ Camdex in 4. Fifth along the rail as they move into the backstretch is Prince Adam. Then we go back to Arizona Bucks, and the early trailer is Rusty Riley onto the backside. First time as they head to the quarter, and Expense drives up to take over the lead. Pictonian Power yields to sit in the pocket second. Left on the limb third is PJ Camdex, and the inside racing along in 4. That's Keeson's Reign. Then Prince Adam holds down the 5 spot. Back in 6, Arizona Bucks has only one beaten. That is Rusty Riley as they race on midway around the upper turn. 27-4 was the snappy opening quarter as they move off the top turn. It's an Expense in control as they race in front of the grandstand. Now approaching the half on the outside. Going a parked out trip is PJ Camdex second. Inside, that's Pictonian Power in the pocket third. Out second over now comes Prince Adam in 4. Fifth along the rail. Nowhere to go for Keeson's Reign. Third over in 6. That's Rusty Riley. And now at the back is Arizona Bucks into the turn. They head past the 5/8 after a half of 57 3/5 seconds. It's an Expense leading the way onto the backside. Still there on the outside is PJ Camdex second. Inside racing third, Pictonian Power. Prince Adam now peaks 3 high from 4. They race past the 3/4. And Expense opening up now by 3. Outside 3 wide. That's Prince Adam moving up to second. Inside Pictonian Power. They race now to the 7/8. And Expense widening the lead to 4.5, 5 lengths. Pictonian Power on the inside is now second. Rusty Riley out in the 3 wide path along the rail. Keeson's Reign is saving ground. They swing off the turn. It's all an Expense here in the 5th, widening with every stride as they race down the stretch. Pictonian Power trying to hang in second, but an Expense an easy winner. In the battle for the place spot on the inside, that's Keeson's Reign. Up for second. Third is Pictonian Power. Sixth race entries are in behind the Home Hardware Building Center starting gate. It's post time. Race 6, top of the stretch, Super Bow Hanover, Mr. Rock, Pride of Paradise, and a Circadian, Putnam's Force. Go with it, Walbert, and Don't Stand in My Way. They're off and pacing. Super Bow Hanover at the rail, a way to grab the early lead. Mr. Rock crossing over to take a tuck second, outside third. That's Pride of Paradise. Racing wide in 4 is Walbert, 5th along the rail. As they race by the opening 8th is then a Circadian. Then back in 6th, that's Putnam's Force, followed 7th by Go With It. And at the back of the field, Don't Stand in My Way. They head to the opening quarter. On the outside, Pride of Paradise trying to get past Super Bow Hanover as they race past the opening quarter. And that's Pride of Paradise now pushing on to grab over the lead as they race now to the 3/8 in the pocket. And now not content there, Super Bow Hanover looks to reclaim as they race on to the 3/8. Super Bow Hanover back to the top spot, 28 3 the quarter. As they race off the top turn, quickly on the outside, here comes Walbert to challenge second, inside third. As they round the top turn, Pride of Paradise, they approach the halfway point. Now taking over the lead is Walbert. Left uncovered on the limb is Putnam's Force racing second, inside Super Bow Hanover third. Out and moving now from 4 is Go With It. Followed to the outside by Don't Stand in My Way. They race into the lower turn, heading on to the 5/8. Walbert is the leader. Putnam's Force on the outside, braving it first over. At the rail third is Super Bow Hanover. Then Go With It. Charging up on the outside, gap in the cover, racing fourth, inside fifth. That is Pride of Paradise, the half, 59-1. They continue on to three quarters, and on the outside, Putnam's Force has taken over the lead. Walbert second, Uncovered third. That is Go With It. Fourth along the rail is Super Bow Hanover. Then Don't Stand in My Way is on the limb in five. Pride of Paradise, Shuffle Back, locked in sixth. Outside, Mr. Rock seven, and at the back, Acadian, three quarters in 129. And Putnam's Force opening up by four with less than an eighth to come. Go With It coming on for second as they round the top turn. Walbert at the rail is trying to hang in third. Down the lane they come final time. It's Putnam's Force, and Putnam's Force will take it here in the sixth. Second is Go With It, and holding for third is Walbert. Race 7, top of the stretch, has Goliath Reigns, Fleetwood Cam, Mortal Kombat, Smile Style, Preceptor, Montreal Phil, and My Brother George. They're off and pacing. Fleetwood Cam away quickly will grab the early lead as they race into the first turn, followed out by Goliath Reigns second. Outside, Smile Style is pacing third. Out the rail, Mortal Kombat has come away in the four spot. Crossing over to find a seat, Montreal Phil from five. Back in six is My Brother George and the early treader Preceptor. Into the backstretch, first time as they head on to the opening quarter. It's Fleetwood Cam out front, dictating the early pace, leading it by 2 lengths. Sitting in the garden spot is Goliath Reigns, followed by Smile Style third. Mortal Kombat pacing along in four. Back on the inside fifth for Montreal Phil. The trailing pair in the early going, they are Preceptor and My Brother George. They continue past the 3/8, opening quarter in a quick 27 3/5 seconds. They move off the top turn, racing into the stretch now as they approach the half. Fleetwood Cam continuing to chart the path. Goliath Reigns getting the trip in the pocket second. Outside first up comes Mortal Kombat third. Then racing on the inside fourth, the locked up Smile Style. Out second over Montreal Phil from five. Out and moving now from six as they continue on to the backstretch is Preceptor. And My Brother George gapping out at the back of the field. 57 seconds flat was the half. They're on their way to three quarters on the outside. Mortal Kombat now forging to the top of the inside. Fleetwood Cam second. Montreal Phil following cover on the limb is towed into it third. Inside locked up Goliath Reigns. Up into contention is Preceptor now fourth. They arrive at three quarters and Mortal Kombat has taken over the lead. Out there by 2.5 second Montreal Phil. Here's Preceptor now taking aim. Outside uncovered, drives up to second. They race to the 7/8. 127 2 three quarters. It's Mortal Kombat now on the outside, and closing in is Preceptor second. Smile Style is out and moving. They swing off the turn and straight now for the stretch drive. Mortal Kombat, Preceptor on the outside. Mortal Kombat, Preceptor. Mortal Kombat digging in, and Mortal Kombat holding on to it. Second is Preceptor. Smile Style is third. Race number 8 of the afternoon has Desir d'Orléans, I'm a Hawk Chick, Charlotte Style, Happy Surprise, Kendall Courageous, Life in the Country, Charlotte's Western, and Jamantha. They're off and pacing. Happy Surprise, I'm a Hawk Chick. Those two out to battle for the early lead, followed out by Desir d'Orléans third. Then Charlotte Style will take a tuck in 4, followed out in 5 by Kendall Courageous. Back in 6, an Unhurried Life in the Country. Then 7th to Charlotte's Western. And at the back is Jamantha. Into the backstretch for time 1 as they head to the opening quarter. Up front, Happy Surprise will dictate the early turns, leading it by 3. On the inside, I'm a Hawk Chick is second, followed in 3 by Desir d'Orléans. Tied up 4th is Charlotte Style. Then back in 5 for Kendall Courageous. Life in the Country is the 6th in line. Back in 7 for Charlotte's Western, and Jamantha is at the back of the field. 29-4 was the opening quarter. They continue midway around the upper turn, and out front it's Happy Surprise in control as they round the top turn. I'm a Hawk Chick getting a good journey in the pocket second. Then Desir d'Orléans is at the rail pacing third. First over mover, here comes Life in the Country, uncovered fourth. 5th on the outside is Jamantha. Back in 6 is Charlotte Style. Out and moving from 7 is Charlotte's Western. Out the back, Kendall Courageous. Into the turn. They head now to the 5/8. And it's Happy Surprise still in control. Then 2.5 lengths back second. I'm a Hawk Chick. Life in the Country. Angling on the outside is up to third on the inside. Racing fourth to Desir d'Orléans. Getting towed into it 5th. On the limb is Jamantha. 101-4 was the half. They approach 3/4. And it's still Happy Surprise. Out front by 2. Second, I'm a Hawk Chick. Jamantha 3 wide into contention now. Third, second, and driving after the leader as they race on over to the 7/8. Jamantha on the outside at the rail. Happy Surprise still there by half a length. On the inside, I'm a Hawk Chick is third. Then 4th is Life in the Country. 131-4 3/4. They turn for home. Jamantha on the outside. Happy Surprise at the rail. Down the stretch they come. Jamantha has taken over. Happy Surprise. I'm a Hawk Chick. Jamantha is up to win it. Happy Surprise second. It's close for third. I'm a Hawk Chick against a closing Desir d'Orléans. Race number 9, top of the stretch, has Salisbury Quick, Distinctive Rusty, Mr. Yokosupi, Giant Slayer, Western, Glenview Paisley, and Badlandia. They're off and pacing. Mr. Yokosupi away quickly. On the inside is Salisbury Quick, along with Distinctive Rusty. They're 3 wide as they race into that first turn, heading on to the opening 8th. Mr. Yokosupi in the 3 wide path is driving up, looking to take over. Salisbury Quick at the rail is now away second. Taking a seat in 3 was Distinctive Rusty. Badlandia has found a spot at the rail in 4. Then Giant Slayer is back there racing in 5. Western is 6th, 7th, and at the back is Glenview Paisley. Seating arrangements complete as they continue single file on their way to the 3/8, led by Mr. Yokosupi. A length and a half is the lead. In the pocket is Salisbury Quick, tied up in 3, Distinctive Rusty. Then Badlandia looks at it from 4, back in 5, Giant Slayer. Then racing in 6 as they round the top turn is Western, and still trailing as they round the top turn, Glenview Paisley. 28 seconds flat was the half. They race on past the halfway point. And out front, leading the way, Mr. Yokosupi in the pocket. Salisbury Quick, first over to attacker, Distinctive Rusty, followed by Badlandia. On the limb in 4, 5th inside, locked up, Glenview Paisley. Then back to Giant Slayer and Western. They race to the backside after a half of 58 and 2/5 seconds. Mr. Yokosupi still there, half a length outside, and grinding it out first over is Distinctive Rusty. Badlandia, well spotted second over, is now racing third inside. Locked up is Salisbury Quick in 4. 3 wide for the back comes Western. They're a tight pack as they race now to the 7/8, and taking over Distinctive Rusty. Badlandia is right there on the outside second. Western advancing in the 3 wide path is driving up to third past the 7/8 and off the top turn. 128-2 was the 3/4. They straighten out for the stretch drive. Badlandia and Distinctive Rusty battling off the top turn. Down the stretch they come. Distinctive Rusty. Badlandia the outside. Badlandia up to win it. Distinctive Rusty. Second, third is Giant Slayer. 10th race, top of the stretch, has Pick and Scoop. Double Shot of Scotch, Name Monster, Brookdale Buster, Electric Sill, J Jetstar, and Beachfighter A. They're off and pacing. Double Shot of Scotch away quickly along with Pick and Scoop from the outside. J Jetstar. They race into that first turn, heading on to the opening eighth. Pick and Scoop. Then J Jetstar quickly now takes over the lead as they head by the eighth and into the backstretch. Away second is Pick and Scoop. Settling out in three, Double Shot of Scotch. Followed fourth by Name Monster. Then back racing in five. That's Brookdale Buster, followed by Electric Sill as they race down the backside at the back of the field. Beachfighter A. They arrive at the quarter with J Jetstar leading the way by 2.5. Pick and Scoop getting the pocket journey. Followed at the rail in three by Double Shot of Scotch. Then next in line fourth is Name Monster. Brookdale Buster looks to the outside now from 5. Then Electric Sill is the 6th one, and Beachfighter A is 7th. 28-1 the quarter. They swing off the turn into the lane now as they approach the half. J Jetstar unchallenged on the front end. Out there by 2.5 as they arrive at the halfway marker. Back in the pocket second. That is Pick and Scoop. First over comes Brookdale Buster, third, followed by Electric Sill on the outside, fourth, inside fifth. Double Shot of Scotch is locked up. Outside and moving, Beachfighter A, and at the back now, that's Name Monster, halfway home. 58-4 on their way into the backstretch as they approach the three quarters. J Jetstar still the leader. Brookdale Buster outside pacing second. Inside locked up in the pocket is Pick and Scoop third. Second over Electric Sill from 4. Fifth along the rail is Double Shot of Scotch. They race now to the 7/8. J Jetstar is still there half a length. Outside Brookdale Buster inching in second. Electric Sill getting towed up into contention on the limb in 3. Inside Pick and Scoop is 4th. 1:28-3 was the three quarters. On 8th to come as they move off the turn. J Jetstar is still leading the way as they drive down the stretch. On the outside, Brookdale Buster in the passing lane. Pick and Scoop. Pick and Scoop is up the passing lane. Pick and Scoop up to win it. Brookdale Buster and J Jetstar. Race number 11, the Johnny Conroy Memorial for purse of $7,500 has Junebugs Baby, Atkins Hanover, Karachi Hanover, Intended Royalty, His Boy Elroy, Weather Hanover, and Heart and Soul. They're off and pacing. Atkins Hanover away quickly to grab the early lead. Karachi Hanover up on the outside. Will now take a tuck in the pocket second. Away in 3. That's Junebugs Baby. On the limb, Intended Royalty comes away in the 4 spot. Followed in 5 by His Boy Elroy. Then back on the inside, Weather Hanover 6. The early trailer is Heart and Soul. Single file into the backstretch now as they head to the opening quarter. Atkins Hanover on the front end will dictate the early pace. Leads it by 2.5. Karachi Hanover giving chase in the pocket second. Junebugs Baby takes a look out of 3, holding down the 4 spot. That is Intended Royalty. His Boy Elroy pacing along in 5, followed by Weather Hanover and Heart and Soul. Opening panel 27-3. They swing off the turn. No change in positions as they travel on through the stretch, approaching the halfway mark. And it's still Atkins Hanover in control with Karachi Hanover in pursuit. Second, gap of 2 back to Junebugs Baby, who's pacing along in 3. Then next in line, Intended Royalty, now peeking to the outside from 4. His Boy Elroy pacing in 5. Then Weather Hanover and Heart and Soul halfway home in 55-4. They head past the 5/8 and race into the backstretch now. On their way to the 3 quarters, Atkins Hanover is out there safely by 2.5, 3 lengths as they approach the 3/4 mile mark. Karachi Hanover is still there second. Up into 3 comes Intended Royalty. His Boy Elroy moves up into 4. Junebugs Baby is back backing off fifth. Then Heart and Soul and Weather Hanover. They race on to the 7-8. Atkins Hanover the one to catch. Out there by 3 with Karachi Hanover racing along second. Up into 3 now comes His Boy Elroy. They swing off the top turn and straighten out for the stretch drive. Atkins Hanover, he's going to be tough to catch. Out there by 4. Atkins Hanover, gate to wire in the Johnny Conroy. His Boy Elroy, a strong closing second. Third is Karachi Hanover. Twelfth and final, top of the stretch has Sharon the Moment, Intrepidus, Sammy Storm, Dinger 2, Jerry's Beach, Mr. Pibb, Grin's Little Flirt, and Bagelman. They're off and pacing. Dinger 2 away quickly along with Sharon the Moment at the rail. They race into the first turn. Sharon the Moment grabbing the early lead. Dinger 2 on the outside at second. Down on the inside and getting away third. That is Intrepidus, followed out in the 4 spot by Sammy Storm. The 5th away as they enter the backstretch is Jerry's Beach. Then back to Mr. Pibb in 6th, followed 7th by Grin's Little Flirt. And at the back of the field is Bagelman. They're on their way to the opening quarter, and up front it's Sharon the Moment to dictate the early pace. Leads by a length and a quarter. In the pocket second is Dinger 2, followed by Intrepidus in 3. Then back on the inside and looking at it from 4. That is Sammy Storm. First up from 5 comes Jerry's Beach. 29-3 was the quarter. They move off the turn into the stretch now, approaching the half. Still led by Sharon the Moment, who's yet to be challenged in the front end. Second at the rail is Dinger 2 outside and moving uncovered is Jerry's Beach up into 3. 4th inside is Intrepidus. 5th and following cover, that is Grin's Little Flirt. Outside 3rd over is Bagelman in 6. Back in 7 is Sammy Storm, and at the back is Mr. Pibb. They head now past the 5/8, a minute 2/5 was the half, and it's still Sharon the Moment on the front end, a length and a quarter. Outside, Jerry's Beach attacking first over. Inside 3rd, that's Dinger 2. Outside second over in 4 is Grin's Little Flirt. 5th along the rail for Intrepidus. Then back to Bagelman, followed by Sammy Storm, and at the back is Mr. Pibb. They head now to the 7/8 in pursuit of Sharon the Moment. Still there, 3 parts of a length. Outside is Jerry's Beach, a little closer now. Second, inside locked up in the pocket is Dinger 2. 3rd, 129-3, 3/4. They turn for home, still led by Sharon the Moment. On the inside, Dinger 2 outside. That's Jerry's Beach down the stretch. Sharon the Moment inside, Dinger 2. Dinger 2 is getting up the passing lane to win it. Jerry's Beach second. 3rd is Sharon the Moment.